Zohran Mamdani is a left-wing candidate for the mayor of New York City. He's a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, and he's currently campaigning to win the Democratic Party's nomination for the ballot. His main competition is disgraced former Mayor Andrew Cuomo, but Mamdani's pledge of a rent freeze, free bus travel, and city-owned grocery stores, as well as an expansive grassroots door-knocking campaign, have seen him surge to second place. Mamdani has also executed an impressive social media push with ads like this.
If you're not Andrew Cuomo, keep scrolling. Andrew, I know you're bad with deadlines and moving to a new city is stressful, but there's an important election coming up and we're trying to fix the crisis you created. If you want to vote, you only have a week left to change your registration from Westchester to New York City. I know. You're shy. I assume that's why you've been hiding all campaign, but it's important to make your voice heard.
Now, all of that together makes Mamdani a threat to the status quo. Perhaps that's why during the lightning round of a debate last week, this happened.
Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my fourth trip to Israel, followed by my fifth trip to Ukraine, two of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't
Not
say it has a
state.
right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And
clear
his
on
answer
that.
was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that very
That's what he
clearly.
was trying to say.
No. Unlike you, I answer questions very directly.
All right,
and I want to be very clear. I believe every state should be a state of equal rights.
He's put that forward very well. You can see sort of Cuomo thinking that this is something he can attack Mamdani on. He wouldn't even visit Israel. Mamdani elaborated on his view of Israel in another interview last week.
Because I feel like you did not want to make a definitive statement on this. Do you support Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state?
I support Israel's right to exist as a state with equal rights. I believe that every state...
Why not as a Jewish state?
Because I'm not comfortable supporting any state that has a hierarchy of citizenship on the basis of religion or anything else. I think that in the way that we have in this country, equality should be enshrined in every country in the world. That's my belief.
Good communicator. Very well put. Difficult to argue with that. The stance on Israel has set some of New York's papers against Mamdani, though. The New York Post has run a piece claiming his anti-Israel stance disqualifies him from high office, as well as anyone who supports him. Now, that's a reference to New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who this weekend endorsed Mamdani as her choice for New York mayor. But it's not just the right who are coming for Mamdani. Some on the left are pretty unhappy with his line on Israel too. At a public debate last Friday, this happened.
No! But again, you share platitudes. You share platitudes about our people. You share platitudes about our martyrs. But not once do you actually side with the resistance. You side with our corpses, but not our resistance. You side with our corpses, but not our resistance. Our martyrs are key. Our martyrs are key. It's not okay.
Don't speak on behalf of Palestinians. I'm Palestinian, and
There's many Palestinians that will also disagree with you.
Palestinians more than anyone. Leave right now so we can stop this event.
There's many Palestinians that disagree with that. We reject colonization. Our objective is anything that will turn $2 million. Not one thing.
Thank you. And I would first like to just continue to address the topic at hand today, which is about taking on corporate power, but I do appreciate hearing your thoughts.
It was really impressive, actually. I think that Palestinian activist, or I suppose I don't want to call her an activist, Palestinian attendee, who was saying, you don't really speak for me. Kind of a strange decision to stand up at a mayoral candidate who's very pro-Palestine, has spoken bravely and eloquently against Israel and sort of try and intervene and interrupt. People on social media weren't particularly impressed with that, I think. Ash, I want your thoughts on this candidacy. I mean, it would be, because on one level you want to say, why are they all saying they'll go to Israel in the mayoral debate? It should be about New York. I mean, at the same time, it would be really significant if the New York mayor was willing to talk about Israel and Palestine in the way that Mamdani is. Like that would be, I think, really, really significant.
Yeah, it would be hugely powerful. I mean, one of the things that we've seen both here in the UK, but particularly in the United States, is this shoehorning of Israel to try and make it a domestic political issue. And that's how, the right-wing media, the likes of the New York Post, like to frame it. That's the kind of work that the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, and AIPAC, of course, a very powerful pro-Israel political funder, that's exactly the thing that they're trying to do. And I think that having a politician of principle, that doesn't necessarily mean you want or it's desirable for a politician to take, what others might call the maximalist position. So in that video that you just shared, where there was one person who was saying, why don't you side with the resistance? All you're sharing is platitudes. And then you had, someone else saying, look, you don't speak for all Palestinians. I mean, the thing is that the reality of, if a candidate sided with the armed resistance in a way which was, talking about actually existing militant groups as opposed to upholding, just the lawful right to resist an occupation, like he'd be done. He would be completely toast. And the value of having, at the moment, a second place candidate, potentially a first place candidate if things go very, very well, who is a supporter of BDS, who has been a staunch critic of Israel and has also said, no, I don't believe in the principle of an ethno-state, which, I remember the Labour leadership of 2019, 2020 had Becky Long Bailey, I think, describing herself as a Zionist, if I recall correctly. That was our left-wing candidate. So he's already, I think, staking out space, which, it doesn't ordinarily exist in politics. And that space perhaps wouldn't exist if he took the maximalist position. So I'm interested to see how this one goes. I mean, when is it that the Democrats decide their candidate, Michael? Could you tell me?
I think it's later this month. Can someone confirm? Stephen is... But it's this month, isn't it? Like 24th of June, thereabouts. I don't have the exact date. But yeah, we'll obviously give our audience updates on that. The actual election for the mayoralty is November the 4th, or whenever they always have their elections in the United States. What is it? June 24th. That will be interesting.